Okay, so for our new boot campers and even for some of our older boot campers, what we're going to do is talk about easy workout modifications that you can do. So these are workout modifications that you can do to make the exercise easier on your body, on your muscles, on your joints, so that you can really learn proper exercise form and feel comfortable doing the movements, okay? So I have to say that if anything looks confusing or is feeling weird during the set, make sure first and foremost that you tell your instructor what's going on. Just raise your hand and let them know that you're having trouble with a particular movement, and they'll help you out right away, okay? So the other thing you want to do is to make sure you notify your instructor of any injuries that you may have, so they know what movements you can and cannot do in the first place. Now, the three things that you can do on your own to help you get through the set are A, to lighten your load, which is just funny. I'll tell you what that means in a second. B, you're going to decrease your range of motion within an exercise. Or C, you're going to decrease the intensity of the movement that you're doing. Now let's quickly talk about step A, lightening your load, because I know a lot of you are curious about this one. Basically what it means is grabbing a lighter weight for any sort of resistance training that we're doing. I'm going to use the example of a shoulder press. So if I have two really heavy weights that I'm trying to push over my head and I just feel like I can't do it without injuring myself, what I'm going to do is grab a lighter set of weights. Now in class, you'll find that we usually work with resistance bands. So you'll grab a lighter band, okay? Now the other thing with lightening your load is you want to, if we're doing some sort of body weight activity, for example a push-up, what you want to do is instead of doing those push-ups on your toes where you've got a lot of weight going into your arms, you want to put your knees down so that you put some weight into your legs, and therefore you kind of spread out the tension through your body, okay? So it'll be a little bit easier for you to do that movement because you'll have less weight going into your arms. So that's how you would lighten the load in a push-up. So our second step that you can do on your own, step B, is decreasing your range of motion within a movement, okay? I'm going to use the example of a body weight squat. So if you're sitting there doing your squats and you notice that something's feeling off, maybe your knees are feeling a little tweaky, something's just not feeling right, then what you want to do is instead of taking that squat all the way down, just do a tiny little bend. So instead of going all the way down like this, you've just done a tiny little bend and therefore, decrease the tension in the knees or anything that might be hurting you within that movement. So that would be the example of decreasing your range of motion in a body weight squat. Another example of decreasing your range of motion would be in a lower ab exercise, okay? So if we're doing an ab exercise where we're straightening our legs and lowering them all the way to the ground and up, and you feel like, your back is hurting, it's sore, you're not feeling it in your abs, but you're mainly feeling it in the wrong muscle group, then what you want to do is bend your knees and decrease your range of motion in that movement, therefore protecting your back and helping you build up the right muscles so that you can move on to the harder option at a later date. Alright, so step C to making our exercises a little bit easier is to decrease the intensity of your movement. I'm going to use the example of a squat jump. So if we're doing 60 seconds of squat jumps in class and you feel like you just can't keep up, it's just not happening for you that day, then what you want to do is to decrease your intensity, is just do regular squats, okay? So instead of jumping, just do squats. So there you have it. Those are 3 easy things that you can do on your own to make the workouts a little bit better for you when you're first starting out in camp class. Thanks, guys.